Here's the alt-right, the alternative right, right? This is the kind of movement, and here's what they're saying. White culture of European origin, this is not Jews, by the way, so Jews, even you might be European and Jewish, but that doesn't include you, so it's the most advanced culture in the world, okay? And at risk of being eliminated or weakened through multiculturalism. So the idea becomes, the core idea is that, like, look, white people have contributed a lot to this world, and we're really important. It's really, you know, the value we bring to it. And when you start to water white ideas down with ideas from other cultures that are not white, you really, you know, in many ways, risking advancing, moving the world forward. Because white people got us to where we are, you know, which is like, I don't know, the fact that you're reading that on a screen, or the fact that you're holding these phones, or any number of things, right? And so if we weaken that, or if we sort of set white people aside who are really capable, and in their place we move people of color, black and brown people, then that's a real problem for advancing civilization. Okay? Humans of European ancestry are the most evolved humans, physically, intellectually, psychologically, and morally. Okay, so this is part of this. And for the good of humanity, white culture and people might need their own ethno-state. So it may be that we need to set aside some land, and some of these folks are arguing here in the United States, we need to set aside some land so that we can give it to white people and only white people, and allow them to really, allow them or us, because, you know, I'm white, allow us to do what we do best, which is make really smart and talented children in advanced civilization, okay? So this would be the classic definition of racism. That when you believe that certain groups, ancestry groups, we talk about racial groups, but I'll make that distinction in a second, are superior or inferior on the basis of biological characteristics, that is the core definition of racism. So, you know, it doesn't have to be that, you know, your racism doesn't have to be that, you know, this particular group of people here, usually people with brown skin, are inferior, so therefore you're racist, right? It could be, I'm a person with brown skin, and I think that white people are inferior. That's racism. These are beliefs that are really grounded deeply in racist ideology. Okay, cool? Got it? So what I want to do today is talk about some of the problems of making a statement like this. For example, what are we talking about? When we say white people, what are we talking about? We say black people, we say Asian people. I've already kind of dug into this a little bit, right? But what are we really talking about? Like, how can you make some kind of determination about a population based on some undefined characteristics of that population? Okay, since I don't even know what white people is, or are, or whatever. I'm not even sure. So anyway, okay, bro, go to the next one. So first question becomes, how do we categorize people into distinct racial groups? Like, how do we do this, right? And there are two things to keep in mind. One is biology, distinct racial groups. So we look at John here, and we say, well, we look at his characteristics. If it was just me and John on a desert island, you'd say, like, well, he has different characteristics than you have, Sam, and so therefore you're clearly in these, biologically speaking, you're in two different groups. And then, you know, when we add somebody else in and who looks different from us, then we got another group. But we can put someone who kind of looks like John. Bro, stand up real fast. So you don't look like each other from my perspective, but you look more like a group than I do. If you said, hey, is Sam part of this group? We'd say, no, like these guys. But then you might say, well, no, but we're going to base our racial group, our biology group on height. So what's your name, bro? Kevin. So then you'd say, okay, well, Kevin and Sam, you're kind of like the same. You'd be in the same group. And then so we'd be over here, and John's in his own group over there. You see, it just depends on how you want to do it. So it could be hair color. It could be, you know, the shape of the eyes. Could be shape of the nose. Could be height. Could be weight. Could be anything, right? It's biological characteristics, okay? So what's this guy, Spencer, talking about? Is he talking about biology? If so, like, well, what? How's he defining white people? Who's really white? If you're going to choose Jews, like, why not choose Jews? Because Jews, unless you're Orthodox Jewish, unless you have a really narrow view of Orthodox Judaism, you don't think that Judaism is a race. Some people might believe Judaism is a race. Right? So Orthodox, you trace your lineage through your mother, right? And you always through your mother, because then you don't know who your father is, but you always know who your mother is. And then you can go back. There are Jews who believe that, or their particular group of Orthodox Jews goes all the way back to Abraham. It's like, damn, that's a long way back, right? And so we then constitute our own race, like, because we connect biologically all the way back to the very beginning. And ultimately, I suppose, to God, right? To Yahweh or whoever. So but if you're not, and if you don't believe that, then if you're Jewish and your family's from Poland or Germany, and your family's been living in Germany for 500 years, how are you or 2,000 years? How are you any different than Germans? So you're Jewish and the other person's Lutheran, and how the hell are you any different, right? So they're trying to make these proclamations about white people, and I'm like, I don't even know what white is. The second thing is, you could just do it on the basis of sociology. So it's kind of like, Americans constitute a unique population, sociologically speaking. People are here, so not racially speaking, but sociologically speaking. Or, we could go any number of ways, right? I just did, with white people, we could do it sociologically. It wouldn't matter if you're, Jewish or Muslim or black or brown, or you trace your ancestry 1,500 years ago to Japan, but you've been living in Germany or Switzerland forever, and it doesn't matter. You just come up with some criteria, which is mostly what we do. Okay, good?